Let me say something that might sound wrong. Agreement is usually the problem, not the solution. Now here's what I mean by that. Imagine, let's say, a job site. There's 3 people, they all agree the work's finished. The electrician signs off, the builder nods, the client says, that looks good. Okay? So it should move, right? But it doesn't. Because a week later, something fails. And now everybody's confused. Because they all agreed, they thought, but they didn't agree on the same thing. They just thought they did. And that's the part that nobody sees. Agreement without clarity is just delayed conflict. And in your business, that's exactly where work keeps coming back to you as the founder. Now, I'm sure you've seen this. It doesn't show up in big moments. It's the small stuff. It's the just checking this is done questions. It's the can you confirm this before we send? Or maybe we're basically finished. I've heard that one so often. But that word, basically, that's where it starts. Because basically done means one thing to them and something completely different to you. So, what happens? You look, you tweak it, you approve it, and it moves. That's great. Feels efficient, right? But that moment, that didn't just move the work. It trained the system. It taught everybody something. When it matters, it goes to you. And at first, that seems manageable. A couple of checks, a couple of approvals. It's nothing dramatic, not really. And then you start to grow. More clients, more tickets, more moving parts. And quick checks become the norm. Now, everything looks like progress. Everybody's busy, the work's moving, stuff's happening. But underneath, something is shifting, even if you're not noticing it. Work isn't finishing in the business anymore, it's finishing in you. That's why it feels heavier than it should when you're scaling a business or you're trying to, because you're not just doing your job, you're becoming the final layer of certainty in the business for everything. So every vague handoff, every almost done, every unclear finish line eventually lands with you. And it's not because your team is evil or because they're lazy. They're not. You hide them, they're good people. It's because the system allows it. And when the system allows it, people follow the safest route or take the safest move. And the safest move is this: pass the risk up. Let you carry it. So, the issue isn't workload. And it's not scale. It's this. The business uses you as the place where uncertainty gets resolved. That's the real problem. If work only feels finished when you've seen it, it's not finished in the system. It's finished in your head. And that creates a cost, not just in time, margin, team behaviour, whatever your home life looks like. Because even when you step away, you don't really stop thinking about everything that's going on. You're still attached. You're waiting for the next thing you need to. That's not calm growth. That's a dependency in sheep's clothing. And it's just getting bigger as you expand. So, what fixes it? Not more meetings, not more tools, and not more people, which is the typical thing that people think will work. Because that doesn't remove that dependency. It just spreads all around you into different heads. So the shift's actually simpler. It is stricter. Work has to arrive complete before it moves. And for that, every piece of work needs 4 things. A time, a deadline, with a date on it. An outcome that somebody can understand. An owner, one person, not loads of them, one person. And then proof that it's actually been done, that it's saved somewhere, so that everybody can review it and say, yes, it is. That's it. If any one of them's missing, it's not ready. So instead of answering it, you send it back. And you can say something like this: paused, repost with time, outcome, owner, proof, whichever one's missing. And at first, that does feel slower. And my answer to that is good. Because what feels fast before was not speed. It was you rescuing it. Now, rescue does feel efficient and it feels very professional in the moment, but it's expensive over time. Because something changes. People think earlier. Ownership gets clearer. Decisions happen lower down the chain and proof gets posted so that people expect it and work starts finishing without you. That is a very fundamental shift. So if you go back to the job site example, everybody agreed the work was done. Okay? The problem wasn't the people. It wasn't even the work. It was the agreement itself, because the agreement without clarity, it has no ownership, it's missing a proof, it's missing a time and date when it needs to finish. That isn't an agreement. It's a guess. And guesses don't hold under pressure. That's why work comes back to you. That's why you get pulled in, and that's why it still feels heavy when you're doing it and trying to scale a business. So here's the real question. Are you going to keep being the place where work finishes? Or build a business where work finishes out without you? Because that's the only thing that's going to allow you to scale. Now just start with one lane, don't try and overdo it. One type of work that keeps coming back to you. And install that rule there, and then watch what happens. Because once work stops climbing, everything gets lighter. And it's going to get easier for you and for the company. Anyway, if you want the full framework, I'll put my book in the comments, and you can pick up and have a read. I'll get back to work.